Hey guys, it's Renee from Family Resource Center, and I'm doing the parenting session with you guys this week. It is session 8 of Family Skills Program, and we are going to look at coping and emotional regulation strategies for you and your kids. So I'm going to share my screen, so give me some time to pull up my presentation. Okay. So as I said, session 8. Guys, session 8. That's awesome. And we're still doing it regardless of what's happening with us, right? What's going on in the world at the moment. And I hope everyone's safe and practicing social distancing and we can get through this together. Okay, so the objectives of this session is to provide parents with coping strategies to assist during this pandemic for yourself and your child or children, and to remind you to use of your SNAP. And while doing this, this will help you to regulate your child's emotions as well, help them regulate it for themselves. Okay, so I think it's very important to look at what we can control, because right now we feel like there's so much out of our control, right? But this is where we get our power back, guys, where we focus on what we can do. So if you look at this diagram, I can control, so I will focus on my positive attitude, following CDC recommendations, social distancing, kindness and grace, limiting my social media, turning off the news, finding fun things to do at home. Also, parenting. You can control parenting as well, how you interact with your child. And you can't control your child, but you can control how you treat them. And in return, they're going to treat you with the same respect or on the same level for most part. Okay, so parental emotional awareness, I think, is very important to remind you that being aware of your own emotions and how you manage these are highly important. Okay, so how your child reacts to a certain situation, you yourself may act the same to that situation as well. So you are the model. So if you act a certain way to a situation, your child will more than likely act or respond in that way as well. Okay, so as you see in the picture, the father is having his shaving cream on and little boy is following because that's his model. He is being conditioned, he's learning from his parent. And I also think it's very important to remind you as well that, whatever we think, we feel. Whatever we feel, we do. So if we have negative thoughts, we're going to feel negative and we're going to behave negatively. So having positive thoughts really does have an effect on us, on our feelings, and what we do. Okay. So coping strategies for you and your children. So strategy number 1, create a schedule. Being stuck at home, we can fall into unhealthy routines, right? Like, oh, I'm not going anywhere, I don't need a shower, I can stay in bed longer, I don't need to do any chores. But these simple acts of giving up can add to the stress and anxiety caused by the pandemic. And you want to make sure that your stress and anxiety levels are low, because that weakens your immune system when they are high. So with that being said, create a schedule. It's going to be different than what you're used to, but still create a schedule. Create one for yourself, create one for your family. And I know some of you have already did this, but just a reminder to create it where your child has their own schedule, you have your own schedule, so you can practice some self-care, they can practice some self-care, and create a schedule where you do things together as well. Like, every Saturday we're gonna play dominoes, or every Saturday night we're gonna have movie night with popcorn, right? Add some fun elements to this as well. You want your schedule not to be so rigid. You want some flexibility, because everyone is processing this and it is so challenging for a lot of people to get into the groove of this. Just give yourself some grace while doing this, and trial and error. You're gonna try things, they're not gonna work, but you keep trying until they work, right? So one thing that I would recommend while creating a schedule is to have breakfast with breakfast and or dinner as a family. You know, maybe when things were normal, you were unable to have breakfast together because you were so much rushed to beat the traffic and get to work on time, and dinner you probably came home late from the traffic. Now you don't have to worry about that. So have breakfast and dinner together as a family, and this will, as we do at FSP, this allows you guys to talk to each other, allows you to bond and see how everyone's doing. Okay? Strategy number 2, and this could tie in with strategy number 1. So during breakfast time, talk to your child about setting goals for a day, like their individual goals, what they want to accomplish for the day. And you ask them first or what they want to do. You allow them to give, you're giving them space to talk about what they want to do first rather than bombarding them with things, right? See what they have to say. If they're having a struggle with this, share your goals as well. If you're not struggling, still share your goals. Because when both of you or all of you have a goal to reach, you kind of feel like, okay, we are working towards something today. If your child is struggling with it, just ask them questions like, what did you not do yesterday that you'd like to do today? What would you want to accomplish by the end of the week? Like, so what mini goals are you going to take today? So doing that together will create individuality, but also doing a goal that you can accomplish at the end of the day as a family, like using kind words to each other, or using inside voice, or you talking to each other in a calm tone, you know. And you can use you can use dinner time to check in and see how everyone did, because research shows that when you have an accountability partner, someone to check in with you, you accomplish your goals more. So checking in with each other is a way to support each other during this time. Strategy number 3, practice gratitude. Mentally detox by taking time to reflect and be thankful for the little things. Yes, a lot has been taken away from us, our freedom to be outdoors after 7 or be on the road after 7. Like little things like that we took for granted have been stripped away from us. But let us look at what we still have, and the more we focus on the positive, the more positive things are going to happen. So as the bullet point says, practicing gratitude has been proven to help reduce stress by focusing on the present and what we currently have. You are adding more into your bucket. You're not taking anything out because of things you don't have. You're focusing on what you do have. And that makes you feel more positive inside. And also you can incorporate this during breakfast and or dinner times. You know, build it into a routine and or your free time, you know? It doesn't have to be nothing long. It could be one thing you're grateful for, or 5 things you're grateful for. Like, see what works for you. Again, trial and error, see what works, right? My way of doing gratitude or practicing gratitude is I state what I'm grateful for and my reason why. So the formula looks like I am grateful for fill in the blank because sometimes we can say, oh, grateful for this, but why are you grateful for it? Like, look into it even more. Okay. And strategy number 4, use your Snap. So being with your families all day, every day can be a great thing, but let's be real, it can be really stressful too. Like the littlest things start to get on your nerve, right? Even how they eat or breathe or things you never noticed before, just because they're spending all this time together. But remember to use your Snap during this time, because the strategies that I mentioned earlier were kind of like preventing blow-ups. But sometimes we forget about these things, so we have to remind ourselves, okay, I'm feeling this way, what can I do right now to help me during this time? Because our family members, they're going to do things that trigger us at times. So just remembering to use your your Snap, and you first use your stop, which is a way to calm your body down, like from deep breathing, like you're feeling really anxious. So deep breathing will help slow your body down if you're feeling jittery from your anxiety. they could now add changing your hard thoughts to cool thoughts. So you're gonna have negative thoughts like, this child's so annoying, why don't they listen? And think to yourself, okay, maybe they didn't hear me. I can do this, this is hard, but my child's having a hard time too. So changing your hard thoughts to cool thoughts, right? And then come with a plan for yourself. So a plan must always make your problem smaller, hurts no one, yourself, or anything, and makes you feel okay. A good plan will have 3 of those criteria, right? So a good plan could be simply walking away and going to do something else. Distract yourself for a bit so you can process of what happened and come back to the situation. You want to give yourself that time because you don't want to keep adding fuel to the fire when you're stuck together. So if you do mess up, that's okay. We all mess up. That's why apologizing is so important, because when you apologize to your child, you're teaching your child how to apologize to you, to themselves, and others as well. So owning that as a parent is so important. Okay, so I added this slide just to remind you what SNAP looked like, okay? And recap and home practice of this now. So there are many coping and emotion regulation strategies that we can use during this pandemic. I only gave you a few because there's so much information out at the moment that it can be very overwhelming. And I want you guys to digest these things. So what we talked about was creating a schedule, setting daily goals as a family, practicing gratitude, and using our SNAP, okay? Remember, we have to adjust to what's going on. So these coping strategies can help. There are many others. If you found any that works for you, please let us know. We'll be happy to take them on and hear your progress about them. So these are just the 4 that I mentioned today. But your whole practice would be choose one strategy from above to incorporate into your daily routine with your family. So if you already have a routine, awesome. But I would like to hear something new. Tell me what else you have been doing too, if you already did all of these. And for your child, there is home practice as well. We do have a SNAP booklet that will be attached to the email. So you can either do it on the computer, because you can just use the text option and can type on the computer, or print it out if you can. Parents, you can kind of use this too to like monitor your own emotions as well. You don't have to write it down, but use it as a guideline, okay? And even though our offices are closed, we are still here for you. We are still here for you. We haven't shut down completely or anything. We are still available through our email address, which is frc@gov.ky, our phone number, 949-0006. You can reach us out on Facebook or look at our Instagram, or even check out what we're doing now on our website, because we're uploading things there, and we have great tips and tools for parenting to help you and your child as well. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. We are here for you, and we are going to do our best to provide what we can for you. Okay? So with that being said, I hope everyone has a great week. Even though it's Thursday, have a great weekend. Stay home, stay safe, social distance yourself, and hopefully we get to see each other soon in person. All right, guys, until then, bye.